Alrighty guys, welcome back to the S.R.I. We are taking a look at women telling us and oversharing about their Tinder experiences. Let's learn, discuss, contrast, and most of all, have a laugh. Let's do it.
I cannot believe I've never told you guys about the story of why I didn't Tinder date for so long, because I went on my first ever date after getting out of my relationship that I'd been in since high school. My first ever Tinder date was awful. It was awful. So we match, we're chatting. He looks really cute in the photos, like so cute that I'm like, fuck, I reckon he's a catfish because he looks too cute. Anyway, we're chatting for a while and he goes, we should catch up. And I was like, yeah, we should. He was like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, let's just go to Chermside, because like everyone in Brisbane knows that Chermside is just like an easy meeting place. It's easy, it's local, it's easy. And he goes, oh, a bit difficult for me to get to, but all good. And I was like, do you not drive? And he was like, no, I don't. And I was like, that's a red flag. But I'm too naive to know red flags and know to not go on the date. Anyway.
How's not driving a red flag? I don't understand. There could have been 100 other things, but not driving's one. Make that make sense to me.
I'm like, just to be polite, I'm like, oh, do you want me to pick you up? And he was like, that'd be great. And I was like, you're supposed to be like, no, don't worry about it. So I can be like, no, it's fine. Or just like say no, because like you're a man. Anyway, whatever. So then I like go to pick him up. It actually looks like the photos, which I was shocked. We get to Betty's Burgers, really romantic. And you know how you have to like stand and order before you like sit down? We're there ordering and he finishes his order and then he looks at me and he goes, do I have to pay for you? Like exactly like that. And I was like, no. And the girl at the counter is like,
what a legend. Good on you, mate.
Looking at me like,
I reckon this guy is just taking the absolute piss and he's doing it on purpose because he doesn't care. He's a very good looking guy. She's probably not up there with him on the same level. She's going to put up with all sorts from him. Have a listen to this.
And I was like, this is so embarrassing. It gets worse though. We sit down, he's really boring and he only talks about himself. And then the little buzzer thing goes off and he goes up to get his food and he comes back down and he goes, oh, yours is over there, by the way. And I was like, you couldn't have just grabbed that? I'm like, what do you mean? Anyway, go get my food. I literally have the worst 45 minutes of my life. Like, it was just awful. It was so bad. And so we're getting up to leave and he goes, oh, do you want to go watch a movie? I should have said no, but I'm too awkward and uncomfortable to say no. So I was like, sure. We go over to the cinema and he goes, what do you want to see? And I was like, oh, honestly, like I'm really easy, but like anything except the Jurassic World movie. Like I don't really do dinosaurs. I don't know if he didn't listen to what I said or he didn't give a fuck, but he goes up to the counter and he goes, 2 for Jurassic World, please.
Legend. Good old young Steve-O, he doesn't give 2 stars.
I was like, and then everyone knows how expensive it is at Chermside. He looks at me, he just stares at me. She says the price and he just looks at me until I eventually pull out my card and I pay for it. And he goes, oh, thanks. And I was like, no worries. We get into the cinema. My butt had just touched the seat and he goes, can we make out now? And I was like, no. So he grabs my hand and he holds it like a dead-ass fish for the whole movie. Sweaty motherfucker. The whole 2.5 hours is just holding my hand. And I was like, this is the worst. We leave, start walking back to my car. He just assumes I'm going to drive him home, so he just gets in my car. And I drive him back, and we pull out the front of his house, and he goes, so can we make out now? And I was like, sorry, no, we can't. He gets out of the car, and I unmatch him, and then I was literally traumatized. It's actually a miracle that I went on the first date with my current boyfriend, because like it took me 3.5 years to get the fuck over that. It was a night.
Come on, it did not. It did not, don't lie. Good on him. I reckon like there are guys out there that do this sort of thing. They see how much they can take the piss, go against the grain, and they go out on dates and get away with it. I love it. It's fantastic. Should be more of it.
I'm going on 10 dates in 10 days. I'm on day 5, and I'm getting ready for dinner right now. And it's a mixture of first, second, and third dates. But last night I did go on a first date with a guy and it was going super well until we ordered dinner. He's on a second drink and he starts getting a little handsy. It's not in like this aggressive way, but he asks if he can kiss me. We're sitting in a booth and I just feel super awkward. I probably should have said no, but he was good looking, charming. He wasn't being disrespectful at all, but it's a first date, like chill. So he gives me a kiss and it's just like a...
Coming from the girl who just said She's on 5 dates in 5 days, and she's doing 10 in 10 days. Sugar and spice and all things nice. I don't believe it. But hey, she went for it anyway. As she said, he was good looking.
Subtle kiss, it's not like a make out or anything. And he was like, I love your lips, this and that. And then throughout dinner, he just sat super close to me and was going like this on my arm the entire dinner. Just stroking me. And he kept kissing me on and on and on. I lightly told him, I said, look, this is a lot of kissing for a first date. This isn't really my style. And he's like, well, this isn't really my style either. I just really like you.
Did her eye colour just change, or is that me? Did she just put contacts in? It did.
Isn't really my style either.
It did. It's completely manufactured. Look at that. Look at the transformation. That's why makeup and all that stuff should be illegal.
I just really like you and really love kissing you. It's basically been an hour of him stroking my arm like this, kissing me, and I repeated myself again. I said, look, I don't typically kiss guys this much my first date, and I don't think he got the hint. And so I just felt extremely uncomfortable the entire time, and a potential match just completely turned into someone I will never see again. Not because I wasn't attracted to him at first, but because he wasn't honoring my boundaries. When I got home, I felt so icky and just honestly upset that I put myself in that situation.
At least she has accountability for it. But at the end of the day, you're doing all these dates, multi-dating, you're going to come across people like that. So you put yourself in the situation, you're going to have guys out there who are just going to put you straight in slurry bucket. Obviously, that's where he put you, and he was trying it on during the date. Didn't even wait till after it.
But it's a learning moment, and now I know, just get up and leave. You don't need to stay on that date. And if a man isn't honoring your boundaries, kick his ass to the curb. I'll do a full recap after all.
Don't care. But in saying that, guys, you need to honour your boundaries too. Women start carrying on, acting up, arcing up, being entitled, trying to shit test you too much. Tell them to kick rocks, dudes.
Do you ever go on a date and you actually just don't know if you're into them or if they were just interesting? If you actually enjoyed your time with them or they just knew how to hold a conversation. Because I went on a coffee date with a guy this morning. We got a coffee, went for a walk. He was really nice. First thing he said to me after saying hi was what's your coffee order? And then went inside and ordered. And I was like, okay, so amazing, thank you. That was so kind of you. But he was really good at chatting. And I don't know if I've just been on so many dates where I'm the one leading the conversation and they're just really, really bad at talking, that this one kind of blew me out of the water, or if I was actually a little bit into him and I do want to see him again, because we definitely do have different opinions on things. I don't feel like it's anything serious. It's not like he doesn't believe in women's rights or something like that. But I feel like we definitely do have different opinions. But that's what made it so fucking interesting, because he actually had opinions and it wasn't just a surface level conversation. And I feel like majority of the dates that I go on are always surface level. So let me know if this has happened to you and how you figure out if you actually are into them or want to see them again, or if they were just fucking interesting.
Oh, guys, this is what I say. This is why you don't go and do first dates that cost you money. Because this is what you deal with. You can go out, spend $150, $200 on a dinner. Heaps of guys do it. Only to have someone pondering if they even like you or not, if you're even worth a message. Basket cases.
My husband was on a Tinder date while I was out with the girls the other night. So I was just out with some friends. We were watching a show, having some drinks, and my husband was having some fun with a lovely lady he met on Tinder. I knew what he was doing. We're totally transparent in everything we do. I even got sent.
What's the point in being married? What's the point? I get it. People have alternative lifestyles. I just don't get it. If he's off doing that and she's off doing whatever, just be single. You don't have the ball and chains. Do whatever you want. You're doing it anyway.
A sneaky little video, which was hot as fuck, Everyone consented, of course. And yeah, so he picked me up and told me all about it, and then we continued the fun and we got home.
Why would you put this on TikTok? This is the end of civilization. Ugh.
I went on a Tinder date. I ended up having a baby with him, and we're getting married in 2 weeks.
Guys, do not let this be you, please. Just don't let it be you. They're going to try and make it some sort of romantic tale here, and we're going to listen to it. There are women out there who are just looking to lock in any sucker who will drop a massive dim sim in them. Don't let it be you. A lot of guys get women off Tinder, they've done it for 6 months, and they knock them up.
So our most highly requested video since being on TikTok is, how did we meet? We met on Tinder and we spoke for 3 weeks prior to actually going on our first date because I was too nervous to meet him. I knew it was love at first sight when I started talking to him on Tinder. Like, I just knew it. And we used to FaceTime for 3 to 4 hours.
I love that. The amount of women that have said that sort of stuff to me and then moved on within a couple of months, it would be a lot. Not that I was hooked on them. I was absolutely in the Brycey phase then. But they get all caught up on you. You're the one. I could see myself having a baby with you. I could see yourself, being married to you. Some small thing happens or they don't get what they want in some way or form, and see you later, dude. And they've got another one on the go. Another guy they love and knew that they're the one.
A night for 3 weeks beforehand. He picked me up from my house and he was going to take me to Crown Casino, and we were going to go play Galactic Circus, play some pool, some basketball, some bowling, and just have a fun games night. So we went there, and he was really nervous as well because he said he knew where he was going from my house. I lived near the city at the time, and he started going complete opposite way from the city. So I said to him, I was like, do you know where you're going? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well, you're going the complete opposite way. And you could tell he was all nervous, and he was so cute. And our date went for 11 and a half hours. We didn't end up having a sleepover on the first date, but the date did go for 11 and a half hours, and he dropped me home early hours of the next morning. We ended up...
What? Who takes a chick out for a date for 11 and a half hours, doing FaceTimes for hours on end? What are we doing here, boys? Is the thirst that strong?
Going for dinner as well. It was just in such a nice time, and we knew it was love at first sight. Then we have a drink. We knew it was love at first sight, and it was the start of COVID. So we were just hearing about COVID happening overseas, and all of those things going on in Asia. And then a couple of weeks later, it was lockdown. So pretty much they started locking down all of Melbourne. They started, telling everyone, hey, there's going to be rules coming up. You're not allowed to travel. And at this point in time, Arvin, which is obviously my Tinder date, he lived about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from me at the time. So we were so far apart from each other. And within the first 3 weeks of knowing each other, we made the call that we were in love, and which was very quick, but we knew we loved each other, and we made the call for me to move in with him. So we were...
Oh, no. Arvin, or whatever his name was. What are you doing, bro? So you moved in a Tinder chick in, what was it, 3 weeks? How do you even know each other? Apparently you love each other, and now you got baby. Oh.
I'm going to be alone because we were locked down in Melbourne. So I packed up my bags, I went on my merry way, and I moved in with him. And it was the best decision that we ever made, ever. And
that's why these things are easy decisions for women to make, because there's nothing for her to lose in this apart from getting disappointed. Now this guy's moving a woman into his house. There's a lot for him to lose, but guys do this willy-nilly, don't they? There's no thought process at all. Get a little bit of action. You haven't had some in a bit, so you move her in. Great idea, mate. Bright sparks out there. Does she have tattoo inside of her ear? What's going on here?
yeah, a couple of years later, we had our beautiful baby boy Kia, and now we are getting married in 2 weeks. So thank you, Tinder. I am in forever debt to you, and always date responsibly. Be careful when you're dating, but Tinder does have its success stories.
Oh, it wasn't Tinder. It was some guy who was thirsty. He just took you off the market. Gah.